Basketball fans celebrating Caitlin Clark for incredible gesture. Basketball fans celebrating Caitlin Clark for incredible gesture originally appeared on The Spun. Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark proved Friday that you don't need to be on the court to make an impact. Clark has been sidelined since July 15th due to a right groin strain. The Fever announced this week that there's no timetable for her return. They'll take a patient approach to this process, especially since they don't want to jeopardize the former #1 pick's long-term health. On Friday afternoon, the two-time WNBA All-Star took time out of her schedule to support IPS Northwest Middle School. Students received backpacks filled with school supplies and books courtesy of the Caitlin Clark Foundation. Clark's foundation wants to uplift and improve the lives of youth in their communities through education, nutrition, and sports. We'd say she's accomplishing that goal. After Clark wrapped up her visit to IPS Northwest Middle School, fans praised her for being a true role model. As an upcoming first-year teacher, this is just another reason why I love her. My students will know who she is, one fan commented. My girl CC is amazing both on and off the court. Love her so much, a second fan said. Good job, Caitlin, another fan wrote. So much respect for her. She is an amazing person, an Instagram user said. Earlier this year, the Caitlin Clark Foundation teamed up with Musco Lighting to provide new basketball courts at 4 middle schools in Des Moines, Iowa. The Caitlin Clark Foundation is thrilled to be a partner in delivering these sports systems to the Des Moines schools and the greater community, a previous statement read. Providing courts for local youth helps them find opportunities to play and connect with others. Sport activities provided by these courts help develop connections, foster teamwork, and improve communication. These are essential skills that complement the education journey and will have an impact beyond the court experience. Kudos to Clark for truly making an impact on the next generation. In a world where sports headlines often revolve around buzzer beaters, highlight reel dunks, and heated rivalries, Caitlin Clark reminded basketball fans everywhere that the true magic of the game goes far beyond the stat sheet. The moment unfolded on a humid Friday night in Indiana, where the Indiana Fever were set to host the Chicago Sky in a highly anticipated matchup. Though the arena buzzed with excitement, some fans eager to see Caitlin Clark sink one of her signature logo threes, others hoping for a showdown with Angel Reese. It was a quiet, off-the-court gesture that became the most talked-about moment of the night. As the Fever warmed up, a girl no older than 10 sat courtside, clutching a hand-painted sign that read, "I beat cancer. Caitlin, you're my hero." Her name was Emily, and her story had already touched hearts across the Hoosier state. She'd spent the better part of the last 2 years undergoing chemotherapy, enduring long hospital stays, and missing school, birthday parties, and playground laughs. But through it all, she found joy watching Caitlin Clark play basketball, her grit, her joy, her fight. In Clark, Emily didn't just see an athlete. She saw resilience, hope, light. What happened next wasn't staged. It wasn't part of a publicity plan. There were no choreographed cameras. It was just Caitlin being Caitlin. During pre-game warm-ups, Clark jogged to the bench, spotted Emily, and walked straight toward her. Without hesitation, she knelt beside the little girl, gently took her hand, and began talking. Not at her, not for the crowd, but with her. Onlookers watched in awe as Clark removed her warm-up jacket and signed it before draping it over Emily's shoulders like a cape. "You're the real hero here," she whispered. "I'm playing for you tonight." The moment, captured by a fan on a grainy cell phone video, went viral within hours. Hashtags like #ClarkClass and #EmilyStrong dominated social media. But it wasn't the autograph or the jacket that fans celebrated most. It was the authenticity of Clark's gesture. Her humility. Her humanity. Back in the arena, Caitlin Clark would go on to score 29 points that night, dishing out 11 assists and grabbing 7 rebounds. The Fever won in overtime, thanks in part to a clutch 3 Clark nailed with under 10 seconds left. The crowd roared. But when Clark was interviewed post-game, she barely mentioned the shot. "All I can think about," she said, tears welling in her eyes, "is that little warrior over there in row. Emily reminded me tonight what true strength looks like. We play a game. She fought for her life. That's real courage." Basketball fans around the country erupted in admiration. From Iowa to Indiana to international courts across Europe and Asia, fans flooded comment sections with messages of love, gratitude, and awe. "I'm not even a Fever fan, but Caitlin Clark just earned my respect for life," one user tweeted. Others dubbed her the people's MVP, not for her stats, but for her soul. Former legends of the game chimed in too. Sue Bird posted a heartfelt message. There are stars. And then there are those who light the way for others. Caitlin, you did that tonight. Magic Johnson tweeted, Caitlin Clark isn't just growing the game, she's redefining what it means to be a leader on and off the court. As the news made its way to morning talk shows and nightly broadcasts, Emily's story was featured in a local segment. When asked what it meant to meet her hero, the soft-spoken girl smiled and said, I felt like I mattered. She made me feel brave again. In the days that followed, Clark and the Fever worked with local charities to launch the Emily Strong Initiative, which would provide game day experiences for pediatric cancer patients and fundraise for research and treatment centers throughout Indiana. Basketball fans continued to celebrate, not just Caitlin Clark the athlete, but Caitlin Clark the person. The gesture became a symbol, a reminder that heroes wear more than jerseys. Sometimes they wear compassion like armor and wield kindness like a basketball in the final seconds of the game. Caitlin Clark's legacy, even at such an early point in her professional career, was already being cemented. Not just in records or accolades or highlight reels, but in moments like this, moments that reminded the world why we fall in love with sports in the first place. Not for the trophies, not for the fame, but for the humanity. As the season rolled on, Clark continued to electrify on the hardwood, but fans in the stands watching from home or scrolling through their feeds never forgot that night. The night Caitlin Clark didn't just play for the win. She played for Emily. And basketball fans everywhere celebrated, not just for the incredible gesture, but for the hope it inspired in all of us.